Good evening and welcome to Chicago Tonight. I'm Phil Ponce on this Wednesday, June 2nd. And now to Carol Marine and a creative new way to encourage greener living. Carol.
Phil, it's a new approach to going green by giving green, a pilot program from the Citizens Utility Board offering consumers cash incentives for improving their carbon footprints. Sign up online, plug in some information about your house and your habits, and the program tailors a plan for you to save energy. And if that isn't incentive enough, the program goes a step further, giving you points that can be redeemed for products. It's a new approach to consumer behavior, and Citizens Utility Board Executive Director David Collada is here to tell us about this. So what is this exactly?
Well, today we launched the CUB Energy Saver, and it's the nation's first rewards program for becoming more energy efficient. CUBEnergySaver.com will really help you save in two ways. First, you're going to get a customized money-saving plan tailored for your individual needs. And in the pilot version we've run so far, the average consumer who's used it has saved over $200 a year, which is certainly real money. But then the aspect that we kicked off today, for consumers who are interested, you can sign up, and if you're a ComEd customer, you can sign up for a rewards program through a company called RecycleBank, where if you get confirmed energy savings, you'll then be eligible for rewards. You'll get points that can then be redeemed at a variety of local and national businesses, including CVS Pharmacy, Barbara's Bookstore, free admission at the Children's Museum. So what we're trying to do here is give people...
It's like frequent flyer miles for unplugging the air conditioner.
It's really like frequent flyer miles for becoming more energy efficient and for saving money. And the hope here is that we provide people with a tool here that's free. It's going to help you save. Some people will be into the rewards program aspect of it. Some people will just see how they want to save. You can compare your usage to your neighborhood average. There's all kinds of features here. We've tried to make it as easy to use as possible while being comprehensive so that you get real information that can help you save.
Okay, let me apply a few levels of skepticism to this.
Sure.
Okay, so these are commercial entities that are going to reward me. Is this in some way just a subterranean marketing program for people who want my business?
Well, absolutely not. I mean, first of all, the important point here is the data is all completely confidential and private, controlled by you. You can put in as much or as little as you would like. You can just put in your address to get a money-saving plan, for example. And the company that we teamed up with for the rewards program is called RecycleBank, and their whole business model is essentially the Sky Miles of the green world. And they've got a good track record and are involved in programs throughout the country and even the world on encouraging recycling. Now they've moved into broader greener actions. So we think
Chicago's the only. We're not doing it in San Francisco. We're not doing it in Portland. We're doing it in Chicago. How come?
Well, I mean, I think this is something that we saw an opportunity to team up with two companies that were looking to demonstrate their product and show a new innovative way for people to save. We also, in order to do the rewards program, you have to link to your ComEd account, and we were able to get ComEd to help facilitate that. This is not a ComEd program. This is a CUB program. But certainly we're pleased that they understand that consumers should ultimately control their data and be able to benefit from that and other programs like this. So
functionally, Dave, this is an experiment.
This is a pilot program. That's absolutely right. We've got good results so far. The average person has saved over $200 a year, and we think that just like we have the CUB cell phone saver that helps you save on your cell phone bill, the CUB Energy Saver bill is going to help you save on your energy bills. And so we think that this is a good program. We encourage people to check it out and give us feedback, because this is something that we plan on improving over time.
But it's a finite number. Like the whole Chicago area isn't available. You take the first how many?
For the rewards program, the site works for anyone throughout the state. Now, to be eligible for the rewards program, you have to be a ComEd customer, and then you have to be the first 10,000 households who sign up. After that, you'll be put on a waiting list. What we're going to do is examine the results. We hope we can prove that this is getting real savings, real concrete savings, that will then be able to expand beyond there.
Okay, the big brother aspects of it. I plug myself into your computer and I say, I give the computer as much information as I decide to give. Like what?
Well, in order to get a money-saving plan, all you really need to do is put in your address. The more information you put in about, for example, the square footage of your home and what kind of appliances you have, the more accurate it becomes in its recommendations. And so, certainly we found that consumers benefited from more if they put in more information. But you can benefit from it just by putting in very little. But it's important to understand this information is purely private, purely confidential. You control it. We're not doing anything with it. There's going to be no marketing, no advertising. We're not selling it it to anyone. This is for you. It's a tool to help you save. And at CUB, that's our only job. And certainly we wouldn't stake our credibility on something that was going to be a big brother aspect to it.
So are you plugged into this?
I am. I've signed up. I've saved a little bit of money, about if I keep it up, about $100 a year. And actually, in my case, recommended that I unplug my subwoofer. And in fact, I have one, and that was an easy thing to do. So do you get emails like Big Brother is saying, Dave, I think the light's on in the bathroom? It's not like that. But you will get, if you want to sign up for them, you'll get monthly updates on how well you're doing on your money-saving plan. This is really an energy management tool.
Because they're reading my ComEd information.
The system automatically reads that, sweeps it in, and will say, based on where we thought you would be, here's where you are. It's all automated. It's only for you. But the idea here is really to give you a concrete tool to really manage your bills better and to save. And certainly at CUB, that's our job, and that's what we're going to keep doing.
So if I'm doing a really good job and I'm getting some gold stars off this program, what comes my way in terms of material rewards, besides the goodness of reducing my energy consumption?
Well, first of all, you're going to save money on your energy bills, and we found that the average consumer so far is saving $200 a year. Some have been way more than that. Then, if you're interested in the rewards program and you're one of the first 10,000 households who signs up, you're going to get rewards. If you just save what the average consumer has saved so far, you'll get the equivalent of about $130 in rewards points. Some will be more, some will be less.
And then I can redeem them for a pizza or a suitcase
yeah. And,
something.
And some people will like that aspect and others won't. But we think it's a good little way to give extra value back to consumers for doing something that's good for the pocketbook and for the planet.
Is there an inherent contradiction between the way electricity power companies sell power and the notion of conserving?
I think there is an incentive issue that needs to be addressed at some point. Most utilities tend to make more money the more electricity they sell. That's not always true. And in general, you have a situation where ComEd is owned by Exelon, and Exelon's a generation company, and so there is an incentive issue that needs to be addressed. I think it can be addressed. It needs to be done so in a fair way that's good for consumers. But certainly, this is an issue that we need to deal with soon. The best way to keep rates and prices low is to invest in energy efficiency. We want to make sure that the whole structure is set up to maximize that investment.
But is it unfair to say the reason that CUB has to fight the wars it fights and to do the things it does is the legislature isn't trying to put some sort of incentives or some restructuring of the rates, and that power companies have resisted some of this?
Well, I mean, I don't think that's entirely true. I mean, certainly we've had our battles with utilities through the years, and what we've seen, I think, in Illinois is the last 5 or 6 years. Every 5 or 6 years, there's a crisis, and then there's a reform bill passed, and I think we have made some substantial strides forward. I think there's a lot more work that needs to be done. I think that there's interest in the General Assembly on doing something on this issue. We need to do everything we can to become more energy efficient. That's the way that we're going to keep rates down, and that's ultimately the way, if we're going to deal with something like climate change, that's really the low-hanging fruit. That's the most cost-effective way to deal with it. This is something that we need to move forward on as soon as possible, and that's one of the reasons that we're introducing this program. We hope it inspires others to go out there and figure out new ways to help people save and become more efficient.
You're only taking 10,000 people. You have a grant, a foundation grant for an amount you can't say, but it's less than $100,000, right? Because your contract with them.
Yeah, this is not a hugely expensive program for us. We are underwriting the cost. We did get a foundation grant to help with that. I mean, our goal here is ultimately to prove that this works, to try to get confirmed energy savings. In other words, that we can say, an aggregate at least, that we know for a fact that we got 5% reduction on average.
So if you're a success, then does it suddenly blossom into something bigger?
That's what we'd hope.
If it fails, what happens?
I think if it fails, it's still going to help people become more educated on what they can do to become more efficient. And education is always a good thing. It pays to be an educated consumer. We have high hopes for it. The results we've got so far have been very promising. It's certainly something that we look forward to working with the public on. We'd like people's feedback. We would encourage you to check out CUBEnergySaver.com and let us know what you think.
So if someone wants to go sign on right now, they go to CUBEnergySaver.com and they will find a way into signing up?
They will find a way into signing up. We've made it as easy as it can possibly be. It takes less than 5 minutes to sign up. You can get going with just your address. There's a little more steps if you want to be eligible for the rewards program. But at CUB, we're trying to do what we can to help you save. We know the economy is struggling, so try to put money back into your pocket.
All right. Dave Collada of the nonprofit Citizens Utility Board, thank you very much.
Thank you so much
for joining us. Chicago Tonight continues in a moment, so stay with us.